Nathan.
We're back in Birmingham.
We are.
Easy journey for me once again. Episode 7.
We keep doing it in Birmingham and I've got no idea why, but yeah, 2.5 hours for me.
Well, it works for me. Where are we?
We're at AutoWorks, Andy Wells.
Yeah, a densely populated workshop in a densely populated area with loads of other businesses knocking around.
I think he said it was 3,000 square foot,
Yeah.
but what he's managed or what he hasn't managed to cram into it,
Yeah.
it's brilliant. It's a great use of the space.
Yeah. Well, no further ado, let's go and get stuck
Should
in.
we go speak to him?
Yeah, let's go see. Mr. Wells, how are you, sir?
Hi.
Nice to see you,
And
man.
you?
Nice to see you.
How are you?
Thanks.
You all right? Yeah,
Very
good.
good.
Yeah, thanks for having us. And first impressions, mate. There's a lot going on in a very small space.
Correct.
How
yes.
big's the workshop?
Both workshops are just under 3,000 square feet.
3,000 square foot. And so that's 3 2-posters, MOT bay,
And a mid-riser scissor lift.
and yeah, that's pretty good use of space.
5 lifts in 3,000
Yeah.
square foot.
Really
Yes.
good.
Yeah.
It's a bit of a TARDIS, isn't it?
Yeah,
You look
it
at
is,
the
yeah,
front,
it
it's
is.
like, where are all
It
these
is.
staff and all
Yeah,
these
it's
cars?
correct,
And you
yeah.
walk through and yeah, it opens up. What's the setup with the staff? Like how many technicians, front of
So
house?
we have 2 full-time front of house, we have an apprentice, 2 full-time technicians, a tyre technician, an in-house valeter, a MOT tester, and we have a social media manager.
Oh, speaking your language now.
Oh, yeah.
I get you excited.
We'll get to the
We'll get to
social
the
media in a
social
little
media, yeah.
bit because I think the reason why we're here is one, with how good of a business you built in such a small area, in a densely populated area, but also your new social media presence is really taking off. And
Correct, yeah.
and
Bit of a TikTok star.
yeah, well, TikTok
Trying.
stars, I think
TikTok
they've got
stars,
yeah, they've got
yeah.
more than one, which is really impressive and something that I admire. So, where did it all begin?
We took the unit on late 2019. The unit was completely empty. It was just an empty shell. There was nothing in here at all. So we dug all the floor ourselves.
Were you on your own at this point?
Yeah, it was just me and the wife. Obviously, my wife Stacey plays a massive role in front of house. We actually did all the groundworks ourselves for the MOT bay with a builder to help. We managed to turn it from keys to open in 6 weeks.
What was the order in which people found the business?
So for us, it was technician. So it was me and then another tech, and then still just one front of house. We went through that stage, and then we ended up getting another technician.
So 3 techs,
So
one
there was
front of
3
house.
techs, one front of house.
And you're having to dip in there, I
Yes,
imagine.
I'm
at
still
this
having
point.
to do front of house.
Support.
I think it was the technician, it was more an MOT tester. So we had an
Yeah.
MOT tester, 2 technicians,
Yeah.
1 front of house.
Yeah. See, this is the crossroads.
Yes.
When you get to the 1 to 3, I speak to lots of garage owners who get stuck
Yes,
Where
because
to
at
go
this
next?
point you've got to hand over a lot of trust.
correct. And then we went on to 3 technicians.
And
So
are you,
I
you
sort of come off it.
you're getting busier all
Yeah,
this
it's getting
while.
busier and
You're
busier and
ramping
busier.
up.
Then we come to 2 technicians in the workshop and myself, and then a front of house.
And a tester.
And a tester.
Yeah.
We've gone through different stuff, you know, some good, some bad, you know, as everybody will do. We've got it to what I think now is a really, really nice balance now. And that's where we've got to today.
Now we know a little bit about the business. Andy, what's your story personally?
So it all began as a child, obviously love for cars and stuff like that. That turned into a passion working on all my family's cars. I'm the youngest of 6. My mum and dad couldn't afford a garage, so we did Haynes manual, all the tools at home, brought all the tools needed, did all of that. Progressed through like a different career, bounced through a few different jobs, joined a sort of mobile mechanic, did that for around about 2 years. I was working full time and then out of hours, so out of my working hours, I was working with him. That was up till 10 o'clock most nights, most Saturdays, most Sundays.
Yeah, yeah.
Trying to just learn. Got a civil service job in 2003.
Okay, yeah.
Did that for 9 years. Had quite a major health scare, so I had a major stroke at the age of 31. No definite reason, but you know there was issues behind it and stuff. But I just started what was Andy's Autos
Right.
in 2013. So 3 weeks later.
So you had the stroke after you started the business?
Yes, I was just starting the ball rolling on being, you know, it was the garage, but it was based from my home, so it was off my drive.
Yeah.
I had a fairly large garage at home
Yeah.
that I could work out of. Had the stroke, took 6 months to recover from that. Was still building the business up though. We felt fit enough to work, so I was
Right.
still working.
But you signed off.
On
But I was
doctor's
signed
orders.
off, yes,
Yeah.
yeah. So I was just taking it easy. Went into residential kids care because we were also foster carers at the same time. So we were looking after, like, obviously, children that were in foster care and running Andy's Autos
Whilst recovering from a stroke.
whilst recovering from so, yeah,
Been
you
up to
know.
much
Hard mode.
Been up to much lately.
No, not much. So October 2015 was when I gave up work and just went full time. Obviously with the wife backing me as well, I managed to take the leap of faith. Again, still stayed from home, building it up.
Were you mobile or were you working at home?
Both. I was doing a bit of both. And then I was like, I need to find a unit. I rang over 70 units to have like a garage. I was like, I need a garage, you know, can I have the premises? No. So I got, out of 75 units, I got 72 knockbacks. We only got to view 3. This was one of them.
Yeah.
There was a massive delay with the solicitors. I was a month and a half late coming in, but obviously I'd got everything ordered. So that's why we managed to go from an empty box to done in 6 weeks, because everybody was waiting.
Presumably you're still doing bits.
Yeah, I was still a full-time MOT tester.
Yeah.
So yeah, I was still a full-time MOT tester. So working 6 days a week there.
It's funny, isn't it? Because commercial space comes at such premium when you're in this industry. It's very, very hard to convince people that you're the right tenant.
Yeah.
Commercial's hard enough anyway.
Yeah.
But in this industry, people just don't want it.
They still see it as, you know, we're still perceived as that oil-driven, covered in the floor.
But it's understandable, isn't it?
Yeah, I get it. I
Because there are
understand
places
Yes, there are a lot of places still like
And it's probably
like that.
there's still the larger percentage of the industry are like that.
Yes.
We probably just not as exposed to it. But it's obviously clear to see the immense pride that you've got in this place. I think obviously 3,000 square foot isn't going to take a long time to get around, but I'm excited to spend a bit of time with probably what individuals are willing to have a word with us.
Yeah.
That'd be pretty cool,
Some
won't
of
it?
the TikTok superstars.
Yeah, the TikTok superstars. So when did the social media journey start?
So obviously that started from day one. So, but again, it was very much trying to do it myself.
Yeah.
You know, trying to be an MOT tester, trying to be a technician, trying to be a front of house, trying to be a toilet cleaner, trying to do, you know, every hat.
Everything
Because it was early days, trying to do the social media. So it was remembering to take photos, videos, then sort of edit myself and stuff. It just.
What drove you to do that? Because most people
I think it's just
avoid it.
Yeah, it was just one of those things. I knew it had to be done. You know, lots of stuff's done on social media now. A lot of the next generation that I think, you know, our future customers, that's where they're going to come from. That's where they're going to find us.
I think less people are definitely trusting their granddad's decision to use who they used to use
and
anymore.
obviously, again, lots of garages I see that, you know, they're not, I wouldn't say out of date, but I personally think they're too far behind. So we've tried to be like a forward-thinking garage. We wanted, you know, the whole vision was one-stop shop. I wanted everybody else to come to here and never go anywhere else for anything. The social media was just advertising that.
Your personalities really come across
Yeah,
on your
without a doubt.
socials.
Yeah.
Like it looks, even from a potential employee's perspective, it looks
Looks like a
a
great
fun
culture.
place to
Looks
work.
like a great
it's-
culture.
yeah,
Yeah,
it
We
does.
tried to teach, obviously a lot of it is still serious. There's a lot of, you know, it's not always roses and stuff.
Well, it's
but,
massive consequences, isn't it? But at
Yeah,
the same time, you've
and-
got to keep it light-hearted.
You know, I try now to look after them as much as possible. Without them, I'll say this now all the time, without them, we don't have a business. I couldn't run the place and, you know, on my own. I've tried that, it doesn't work. So, you know, we've built it up, and we do have like quite a substantial team now for such a small premises.
I genuinely think this is the best use of square
space.
footage I've seen in terms of
I've
staff
tried.
output.
Yeah, it makes me a bit embarrassed. I've got
Too much space.
Too much space.
Yeah, you know, we're quite efficient with how we book,
Yeah.
so we don't end up overbooked. We book 4 hours per day per tech.
So you're 50%
And are you,
capacity.
and are you looking for service work there, or are you looking for
Anything,
diag?
there's a mixture of servicing work, MOTs and diag.
Right.
In
Yeah.
that. Obviously, the MOT tester will just be booked for the day.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
sort of tend to book, you know, 8 or 9 MOT slots for the day. Then we sort of we try and average around about 2 services and maybe 2 or 3 diag. The aim that we try to do in my head is I would like everybody out the same day. I don't want someone coming in, you know, having a problem with the car and then saying, okay, we'll see you in 3 weeks because we can't get you in. It is nerve-wracking. Like when you look at the diary and you're like, we haven't got much in, but it always seems to find its way. It's,
Law of averages, isn't it?
yes,
comes
and it
business,
isn't.
yeah.
It isn't very often that, you know, many people, like, we might stand around for an hour a day, but then we utilise that to sort of help clean up.
Well, I mean, yeah.
And obviously just
Yeah,
keep on
sure.
top of stuff. And
That's really interesting. One thing that sticks in my mind is that we're mindful about the amount of diag that gets booked in for us because that's where our time is lost. But it seems like you've got an unbelievable balance.
yeah,
here.
it just works right. There are sometimes it doesn't always go to
Yeah,
plan.
So I've seen recently, I might have been LinkedIn, you was at your local college
It
giving
was,
a presentation.
I did a presentation for Wolverhampton College, sort of give them a bit of an insight and my story, you know, how I've got into the trade, how I've come through the trade. I was self-taught.
for that, I've been there as well. I was actually a
Yeah.
student there many years ago at Wolverhampton College, but to see...
Were you in automotive?
No, I was actually in... I was in sports at that time.
Oh, was you?
Yeah, I was finding myself, wasn't I? So
Let yourself go.
yeah, let myself go.
Yeah,
But then I went back to see the automotive sector, and you think an incredible investment, and they're clearly ahead of the
Yes.
of I'd say the Midlands for sure in regards to what they're doing with their place. It's really special. Same, did a talk. But yeah, it's so good to sort of even just give back, to be a part of something that we never had access to.
Well, I studied automotive at college, and it was, to say it was is an understatement.
Yeah.
Did you say
That's
you've got
the
your
impression.
apprentice? Did you say
Yeah,
you
obviously
got
our apprentice now, so he's bounced through a couple of colleges. He's now gone to Wolverhampton College because when we went and looked at the facilities there and stuff and how their process is now, they have real life cars in that are rotated after 8 weeks, I think it is, or there's a couple of months, and they get all them cars gone and all new cars in.
Yeah.
And
It's
there's
real
so-
life.
there's
It's
so-
real life.
There's a Golf R in the workshop
Yeah,
I went to last
Yeah,
week.
yeah.
We had a load of
Yeah.
engines from vehicles 20 years old.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, exactly.
That
That's
was
been
it.
taken apart
Yeah.
15 million times and put back together.
But we never had anyone external come in and speak either,
Yeah.
which I think is,
Yeah.
that would
Well,
have been...
I've done it, Andy's done it, we know Tim's done it as well.
Yeah. What, at Wolverhampton
Yeah,
College?
he's went into Wolverhampton
Big
College.
up Wolverhampton College.
Big
then.
up Wolverhampton College.
Yeah,
They're
definitely.
doing
Who's
amazing.
the
Cracking
mastermind
facility.
behind all of
That's Stephanie Jones. Like all credit to her. She's really tenacious, and if anyone in the industry is watching it and want to get involved in the college,
Definitely.
spend a bit of time in
Yes.
Wolverhampton. You'll see where the level needs to be at. Alex, I had to stop the garage tour because that is a sensational jacket.
It's nice, isn't it?
It's really nice. May I ask where you got it from?
A good friend.
Yeah?
Yeah.
And does that good friend's name begin with Nathan?
Yes.
Really? And surname Taylor?
Yeah, that's the one, yeah.
That is me. What I have done is started a new brand called Clothing House, where we are aiming to deliver high quality garments to the top level of business. Anyone in the business really, but our aim is to go for kitting out the directors of businesses and making them look proper. Are you happy with your jacket?
I love it, yeah.
Yeah,
I'm not paying for it, but yeah.
You will, some way you will pay for it.
So what if I want some more?
Well, you're going to scan the QR code that we're going to place here, and that'll take you to our landing page where you can register interest for garments with Clothing House. So there you go, Clothing House coming to skin near you soon. So the bay that's furthest away from the office, obviously the MOT bay here.
Correct.
Again, just an amazing use of the space.
Well, it's big, isn't it?
Yeah.
This is actually quite big.
Yes.
This is
Quite
actually
big.
quite spacious.
Yeah.
Alignment bay as well.
Correct. Obviously, we have a dual purpose ramp, mezzanine floor just for the tyre storage.
Yeah.
Are you doing many tyres?
We do a fair amount. Obviously, considering we didn't do barely any, we had no stock or no capacity to keep the stock. So now we have on average, I think it's around about 70 sizes in stock.
Oh wow, okay, yeah.
So there is a fair
that's
amount up there. There is a
bit.
fair amount up there. No,
That is good.
it's just in pairs.
Yeah.
So we just have
Yeah.
two of everything.
And a supplier delivery is pretty quick in,
Correct. Twice a day.
twice a day.
So
for
I would like
tyres.
it more. Yeah, it would be nice if it was more, but
And,
I think that's.
and what about part supply in?
So part supply, we've got Euro car parts or LKQ,
Yeah.
literally 250 metres away.
Oh, amazing.
Are they your
So-
prime supplier?
They are our prime supplier.
Have you got a good relationship with
We
the
do.
branch?
We do have a good relationship with the branch now. It's
We
been
can
through
go
its
kick the door
patches
down,
and stuff.
can't you,
It's-
if,
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
yeah.
yeah, We can always run and get the parts quicker than they deliver them sometimes.
Yeah,
but
yeah,
yeah,
that makes
it
sense.
is good.
That's
It is
really
good.
Cool. That's really cool.
This is lift. This is obviously what you're using.
Yes, obviously mid-rise scissor lift now. We use it for tyre changes and stuff. It is a bit cosy still with obviously certain bigger cars on there. But again, we've tried to utilise the space as much as we can, along with the workshop consumables and the sort of more generic, larger tools that we have to store, like engine supports and stuff like that.
And I've noticed these toolboxes as well. So we saw something similar at the mini repair shop,
Yeah.
didn't we?
Yeah.
These are obviously the businesses toolboxes. It's all the sort of generic tools that we use for all the jobs. So, you know, it's not the personalised tools, hand tools.
Right.
It's you know,
specialist
it's the
timing
wheel
tools.
bearing. Yes,
Yes.
the timing tools are in there. Wheel bearing kits are in there. There's like cameras, DSG tools, obviously for the gearboxes and stuff like that. Now, just lots of all the tools that the workshop needs, but isn't personal.
Who's your sort of go-to specialist tool provider? Who do you use?
We have a number of them now. We've got a great independent guy now that brings around a lot of stuff like that. We have a regular snap-on, obviously tool van
Yeah.
per week. We've got a good rep with him, hence the equipment. So we use diagnostic connections for a lot of our diagnostic equipment.
Okay.
We're quite well up
What
onto
die
that stuff.
kit do you guys use?
We have a Bosch KTS,
Yeah.
Top Dom Phoenix, Autocom, an Fix, Snap-on. So
All of them.
yeah,
Yeah.
fair.
I can see that you're doing valeting as well.
Correct.
Is this a recent?
So we
Is
we introduced that in July 24. You know, I want to offer an alternative to dealer,
Yeah.
and I think that is part of it. Servicing gets a service wash and vacuum. The only thing that doesn't really go for the valeter is if it's just in for an MOT.
Yeah.
And out again.
Yeah.
That won't go for the valeter. Most of the other jobs will go
It's
for the valeter.
quite a commitment, isn't it? It's
It
quite
is,
a-
yeah, and it is.
And do you feel like you're seeing the return in the customer happiness? Like
The customer
they-
satisfaction, yes.
Yeah.
We've actually started adding it onto the invoices because even some of the customers still don't notice the car's
Yeah.
sparkly clean compared to how it turned up. So it's been added onto there, and the feedback's good through our obviously NPS score that we get,
That's
and
really
comments and stuff that we get through customers, saying that they like it. It's a nice touch.
Yeah, love that, mate. Well done. Really good, really good.
Boys, can we move out the window and tea bag, please?
What was that?
That's our PA system. That's Stace, my wife. She definitely wants us out the way now.
Right, Tess
get out
coming
of the
in,
way.
get out of the way before we get run over. Alex, we love a good parts place.
I love a good process.
Yeah, we love a process for parts. So Andy, talk us through the process.
So we have a parts bench.
Yeah.
So the parts come in.
Right.
One of the front of house team or our tyre technician, he sorts out our workshop for us. He will allocate the parts from the bench to the shelf.
So the suppliers drop the parts on here.
Correct, yeah. With the invoices.
Yeah.
He will write on what box he's put it in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he'll write what box he's put it in. He'll then take the invoice into the office and give it to one of the front of house team.
Right. So you're actually doing it in reverse.
Yes,
So he's deciding which box.
Yes, he decides which box. He can just pick an empty box.
Yeah, one
He
that
then
fits,
takes the
yeah.
invoice into the office. They then allocate the parts to the job, and,
Yeah.
we'll put the box number in there. And then obviously when the car arrives, we then have different coloured key tags that get allocated a key. So when the technician picks his tablet up for his job, he's got his key number and his parts box number.
Brilliant.
Yeah,
And I can
makes sense.
see nice big returns bins,
Correct.
empty, which means you're
Yes.
organised.
Yes, we try to sort of keep on
So
top
how
of the
often are
returns.
you doing your returns?
It's almost daily. If
Every
we have
day.
a delivery per day from the suppliers, we are encouraging them to take them back.
Best way,
Yes,
isn't
yeah. Especially towards them.
And are you using Garage Hire for that as well, for that whole
Yes,
process?
yeah, the items to return.
process,
Yeah.
Yeah, wicked.
'Cause you know, if you leave it for any longer and you get some discrepancy,
Yeah,
you're just then relying purely on the paperwork trail to figure out what that part was
Correct.
for. Whereas on the day you can remember, can't you?
yeah.
Yeah, catch
No.
it while it's hot.
Really good.
Should we go and talk to the TikTok text,
Yeah.
shall we?
Yeah.
I think so.
Let's go.
We'll leave you here.
Okay, thank you. I'll go and get a drink.
So we know that Andy, the owner, spoke really importantly of the importance of social media and marketing himself within the business. Now, Andy has got himself his own little lantern deck within the business and have really took off on social media. So we're going to go and disrupt him and introduce ourselves. You're not busy, are you?
Little bit, but we can carry on.
Okay, no worries. This is Lewis and Lewis, and better known as Anton Deck.
Yeah.
And guys, what were you up to just then?
Just
before we-
filming a seat now, video for the customer.
Okay, so video VHC.
Yes, basically, yeah.
And is that something you guys have done for a long time?
Yeah, we've done it since we started, haven't we? Both of
Yeah.
us, so,
And how do you find filming them?
To start with, I was a bit apprehensive because obviously talking on camera, we're not really confident with that. But once you get a couple going, once you see it as well, it just really flows.
Yeah, you sort of realise that you're not the one in the video, you're just
Yeah,
narrating the
it's
video.
just your voice,
Yeah,
isn't it, at the
yeah,
end of
that's
the
it.
day,
Yeah.
yeah.
Now, obviously, the video VHC is great, but you've obviously found your way in at a different angle now with
Yeah.
social media, and you two seem to be the theme of majority of the videos these days. Was that a voluntary thing? Was that something you got asked to do? What was
Bit
that?
of both, really, weren't it? He was
Yeah.
keen from the get-go to get involved.
Yeah.
Obviously, once we took on a social media manager, we always said, yeah, we like to have a little crack at TikTok, didn't we? And everything else has kind of followed with it. Some of the videos we don't want to do. Some of them are a bit more fun to do, but it's all part
We have
of,
our own
part of it.
ideas
Yeah.
as well, don't we? As
It's
well.
good that you can play your part within
Yeah,
that.
exactly.
I
That's
think
what it lets us
with
speak for,
content
yeah.
it plays a bit of education and entertainment. The entertainment ones are obviously more fun.
Yeah.
But we obviously as a brand need to represent all sorts. But no, I've seen the videos that you're putting out, hundreds of thousands of views, and it's pretty cool to be a part of that. So wicked. And you said about social media manager.
Yes.
So has that person come in and made your life a lot easier?
He has, to be fair. He comes up with the ideas, and it's not like scripted or anything, so he just says, whatever you do, just flow with it, and he'll come up, give us a direction to go in.
Yeah.
As soon as we're rolling, we're just sort of in our element. We're quite funny guys anyway, we have a good laugh.
Yeah, 24/7 in here,
and
if we
then,
could do.
yeah, so and then it just sort of transfers on
Doing the night shift.
Yeah,
Social media night shift.
try.
Wicked, guys. I'll let you crack on. Thank you very much for your
Okay,
time. It's
perfect.
nice to see some young people getting stuck into all sorts of video, VHCs and social. I'm going to go and have a word with the social media manager.
Okay.
Guys, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Top man. Cheers.
Cheers.
lads.
See ya.
Hen, Mr.
Hello,
Social Media.
How are you?
How are you, sir?
I'm good, thank you.
I
How are
want
you?
to spend a bit of time with Mr. Marketing himself.
Okay.
Myself, obviously, really passionate about marketing. What was it that you saw in Andy in the business that made you want to jump on board?
So basically, I was a customer for Andy for 7 years, as long as I've had a car. I've followed him around no matter where he's went, and obviously when he made his own business, Andy put out just a post on Facebook, I think it was, and he was just asking for someone to run his social media. So I thought, you know what, why not? Let's give it a go. So I dropped him a message, and I come in, and it was about an hour long conversation of what he wanted from me, and we bounced back and forth ideas. And from that, so then I started doing it part-time while I was at my other job. And eventually we were just getting to the point where we needed more content. We just thought the best way to push out the business, especially on social media like TikTok, that you know, is so algorithm based, is we need content every day. So obviously with the part-time I couldn't film or do enough to have content rolling out daily. So
How do you find getting the technicians in the videos? Is that difficult to start with, or has it got any easier?
from the start, to be honest with you, the two Lewises especially, they've just always been on board.
Ant and Deck,
Ant and Deck, yeah. So the fact that they're so on board makes my life easier. Obviously, you've got some people who are just a lot less inclined to do it. And don't get me wrong, they still do it, to be honest with you. If I really need them to do something, they'll do it reluctantly, but they'll do it.
Sounds like you've got an amazing bunch, and you've racked up some serious views along the way.
Yeah, it's
and it's funny because, like, for me, with our social media, we probably started our marketing journey a bit earlier, which allowed us to amass a decent following. But following doesn't seem that important anymore, does it?
I don't think so.
No, not at all.
Especially, so the fact that we've got 2,500 on TikTok and we're getting hundreds of thousands of views is just proof there in the pudding that it's not.
Amazing, yeah, and this is just a game of building brand. I know, and Andy's very passionate about making sure that brand keeps growing and
absolutely,
and showing.
In general, I think it's the future. It's where customers are coming from, because I think long gone are the days of handing out flyers and and that sort of stuff.
Yeah,
so
I mean, just the cost of getting stuff out in digital is so much quicker and easier these days.
It's instant as
yeah,
well. So.
Yeah. Mate, thank you very much.
No,
I'll leave
problem.
you to finish your drink and I'll go and catch up with Alex. Thank you very much. Well, Alex, I mean, it's a small space.
Following the theme.
Following the theme. We were in a small office, made great use of it. Andy, Stacey, thank you very much for having us. It's nice to end with the most important person in the business.
Most important ladies.
Most important ladies. You guys have built an amazing business in what I can say a really short period of time, and you're making an impact across an industry probably you don't realise with your social media and your work, and just how passionate you are for doing such an amazing job. And it's been a privilege to
It has. Thanks for
have
having
a
us.
look around. So
Taking up
thank
a
you
lot of
very
your
much.
It's been great seeing you here.
Yeah, thank you. Keep it up. We'll see you next time.
Thank you very much.
Should we get out of here?
Let's get out of it.
Let's go.